What's up, guys? It's your boy Ibrahim. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you guys for subscribing. For those of you who are new, for those of you who are just watching just to learn a few things, I appreciate you as well. But make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe so you guys can get my videos as soon as they come out. Usually it's on Fridays, but I'm trying to incorporate like this daily upload that I want to do. Like I want to upload like a few daily reminders or a daily boost that you guys can benefit from. But for this video, for this episode, I want to talk about something special. A lot of you have messaged me saying, hey Ibrahim, I really have a hard time with this and I want you to like talk about it. So as usual, I like to talk about a lot of things, a lot of controversial issues, a lot of things that really impact society, impact our community. So yeah, I'll jump right into the topic that we have at hand. So the question that someone messaged me was, how do you know if you found the one? So this is a big topic. A lot of people have their own ways of knowing how they found the one, what things they look for. A lot of people assume that finding the one is all physical, right? A lot of people think that if this person meets all the checklist that I've laid out for my ideal person, my ideal partner, then that means that I found the one. They are the one. That's it. Bingo. You know, I hit the nail. But what do we look for when we're trying to find the one? You know, I was at a place where I felt accomplished, right? I felt really good about where I was. I worked on myself a lot. I worked on bettering my flaws, what some may not consider flaws, but what I really considered like, hey, I need to really work on this. I worked on that. And for the longest, I felt like I was ready, right? I finished school. I felt financially ready. I felt physically ready. I felt mentally ready, which is important. And if I can give one advice to those watching, to those listening, is that it's hard to find someone in the process of finding yourself. You know, a lot of people don't really take the time off to find themselves first. A lot of people don't sit and contemplate, you know, or sit and really assess themselves and say, hey, you know, what kind of things do I need to improve? You know, I made a previous video that said, you know, would you marry yourself? And that's part and parcel of improving yourself, right? Finding what you need to work on, finding what things work for you. And that's the number one advice I can give to anyone who's looking, or anyone who is looking to, you know, to get married and things like that, is to find yourself first. Because the biggest problem that we have today is that in the process of finding someone, we're trying to find ourselves. And sometimes a lot of people don't get it, you know, when they're young, like when you're 18, 19, when someone tells you, hey, listen, you know, you're not ready yet. Like, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, find yourself, find who you are, find what you want in a partner. Because we know that at the age of 18, what we really wanted, what we really were looking for is quite different than where we are today, right? If you're 21, 22, or 20, or, you know, 25, 30, 35, what you're looking for is quite different as opposed to what you were looking for at 18. And how you were at 18, you know, you're not the same anymore. So a lot of people don't wait to mature. They don't wait to learn about themselves before they go finding someone. And it's sad because a lot of people hurt some along the way. So for example, if someone is like 18 and they feel like, oh, I'm ready to settle down, I'm ready to find a partner, and they haven't really worked on themselves. I'm not saying that age is the big deal here, that if you're 18 you haven't found yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that most of the time at 18, you're not focused on self-development. You're focused on, and I might be reaching here. So like I said, it might be different for a lot of 18-year-olds, but majority of the time when you're 18, you're not looking at self-development. You're looking at, hey, I got a lot of time ahead of me to get hurt, to learn, to grow, and things like that. And so you're not looking at self-development. So you're looking at things from a lens of like, oh, what I want now is what's good for me. The person that I want now is the person that's good for me. And so when you have that perspective at a young age, and you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get married to this person. This person is the one, and then let's say you get to know this person, and most of the time, some of the time you're not getting married at 18, right? You're getting to know someone in hopes that you marry them at the age of 20 or 19 or 1 more year, 2 more year, 3 more year. For some extreme measures, 5 to 10 more years. But you're not looking to get married right away. So along the process, you start growing, or you start learning a few things, right? And so the person that you thought was the one, all of a sudden is not the one. And a lot of people look at themselves and like, oh, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this person is not the one, when in the beginning he was the one, or she was the one? And it's because you've matured, or likely, you've grown to become a different person. Your goals have changed. You've learned a few things about yourself. You've assessed yourself even more. Now you've gone through family dynamics that have changed, that have made you a different person. And so all these emotions, all these new experiences are new for you. And so you're getting to know someone, and you really haven't found yourself, right? Then it's easy to hurt that person. It's easy to let go of that person. It's easy for you to say, you know what? I'm going to leave this person and focus on myself even more now, because I'm going through a lot of things. So sometimes unconsciously, you might be hurting another person. You're dragging someone under the mud. That wasn't your intention at first, but you've prematurely started a journey that you weren't ready for. You prematurely started something that you haven't really thought about. To say, hey, I need to think about myself first. Where am I in life? Where do I want to be in life? What are my goals in life? What things do I want to accomplish first? And that's important, because that's where a lot of the hurt comes from. That's where people end up being hurt, because someone decided prematurely that they want to embark on a journey that they weren't ready for. Someone decided to get to know someone, and it may not be in hopes to leave them later, but you've left them to focus on yourself. You've left them because there was things that you didn't really work on, right? Whether it's emotional damage that you've gotten as a child, whether it's physical abuse that you haven't really overcome, or whether it's just growing in nature, right? You haven't grown enough to understand the commitment that you're embarking on, or what you're deciding to do with your life. And so along the way, you hurt others and cause people pain. And sometimes in causing people pain, you have to live with that. So you live with this guilt of letting someone go. And then now down the line, you live with this, what if, what if this, what if that? And so that's my biggest advice, is to really focus on yourself, right? In hopes to find the one, you have to be ready for the one. You have to be someone who worked on themselves. You have to be the person who feels confident in who they are, recognizing that they've improved, academically, or whatever it is that you feel is an improvement in your life. And I'm not sitting here saying that 18-year-olds can't get married. Go for it. But have you thought about yourself? Have you looked at yourself and said, I'm happy with who I am. I have a few flaws that I need to work on, and I worked on them, and I feel great. I'm ready. Because it's hard when two people get together who don't really know themselves, and they try to find themselves in the process of being together. It's hard, and a lot of marriages end like that. A lot of marriages end prematurely because of that. We see that today. Like, you see a lot of people who don't know what they want out of life, out of themselves, out of their futures, ending up together, and next thing you know, they're corrupting one another. They're like hurting one another, and it's painful. And some say, oh, I'm sure you've heard I'm sure you've heard a few people saying, oh, we grew differently. We grew apart, right? That's the one. We grew apart, and that comes from not having worked on yourself first. Sometimes that can come from not having worked on yourself. Sometimes it can come from not understanding your goals, not understanding what you want, not choosing a partner based on, knowing yourself, but rather choosing a partner just because, oh yeah, we're going to grow together. And sometimes you may not grow together. You might grow apart, and I think that's what you have to think about before embarking on that journey of trying to find the one. Is, did you find yourself? Right? Did you find yourself? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? Do you know what you need? And then I'm sure I can make another video about what to look for in a partner, what to look for in someone you want to settle down with. But I think the thing is, what do you want? Like, who are you? The biggest question, who are you? What are your goals? Are you there? Have you gotten there? So that's the biggest thing, the biggest advice I can give in the pursuit of finding the one for you. So to go back to where I was at a good point in my life, right? I said, hey, I'm going to find someone. I'm looking for a partner. So obviously what we don't do and what we should do is and what I think I did, I mean, alhamdulillah, I did, is that I told everyone, I said, hey, my close friends, my close family, I said, well, there isn't a distant family, but my family, the first circle of things, like, my uncles, my aunts, like, and then you have third cousins, second cousins, and things like that, right? So my close family, I spoke to them. I said, hey, I'm looking for someone. Keep an eye open, this and that. If someone is interested, just let me know. I don't mind approaching that situation. And so I spoke to a friend of mine. He's from London, and I said, hey, bro, one of my close friends. I said, bro, I'm looking for a partner. And my romantic ways, I said, I'm looking for a soulmate. My poetic background kind of came out. I was like, hey, I'm looking for a soulmate. I really want to settle down. I think I'm at a good place. And one of the things that he said to me that will stick with me for a very long time, and I will always be thankful. I will always be thankful for him telling me this. And I don't know where he got it from. I would assume it's from his wisdom. He's a very smart brother. He's a very knowledgeable person. And he said to me, Ibrahim, don't look for your soulmate. He said, don't look for your soulmate. Look for your soul mate. And I was like, hold up, who is this rapper coming at me with this statement? I'm like, who the heck, who's this like poet coming at me? I don't even, like, you're not even like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not supposed to wow me, like, you're not to put him down or anything. I was like, you're not supposed to wow me with like legit statements like that. Jeez, like, I didn't know you had it in you, right? So yeah, he was like, don't look for your soulmate, look for your soul. And the mate part at the end was just his lingo, right? But it did make sense. It did make sense. He said, don't look for your soulmate, look for your soul mate. Soul with a comma and then mate at the end. And I was like, wow. Apart from me being shocked with his capabilities, his words, it really, it really caused me to reflect, right? when he said, find your soul. Because the idea of soulmate, in our deen, it's very special, right? It's very deep. And we know, there's a narration that the souls that get along, the souls that get along in this dunya have met before. And they've met, they've met before, basically, right? Because the narration, give or take, there's a lot to it, but someone told me that narration is that if the souls that get along in this dunya have met before. They've met once upon a time and they've gotten along pretty well. And so the idea of soulmate in our deen is truly special, right? It's people who really are for each other. It's people that Allah has chosen to come together, right? It's people that Allah has brought together, because the idea of a soul, the idea of who's in control of the soul is Allah. Allah is the one who is in control. So when he said, look for us, don't look for your soulmate, look for your soul, that was something that made me think. It made me think of Allah, and it made me think that I'm not really in control of this, right? In finding someone, I'm not the one. Like, it's not only my work that is enough to find the person for me. So I thought about it. I said, I have to move closer to Allah. It's not that I was far away from Allah. It's just that I took it on myself to try to find the one. At that time when I came to him, I was working towards finding the one. I was the one doing so much work, right? Running around, trying to, be in every situation, be in every predicament and this and that, trying to find someone, and being on apps and, social media and all these things, trying to find the one. And then that statement kind of took me back. It was like, wow, I really need to also rely on Allah. I need to find my soul. I need to give it up to Allah, right? And so we have to understand that our partners have been destined for us. It's written who we're going to be with, right? It's written that the person that you meet today is going to be the one for you. It's written that Allah will guide. Allah has already written the person for you. So Allah will guide you to that person. And we don't think about that. We don't think that Allah will work for us. We always think that if we move to Allah, that it's going to work against us. Especially when we think we found the one. We don't want to go back to Allah and say, "Oh Allah, guide me to what is right. Guide me to who you think is right for me." We don't want to say that because we're afraid of losing this person, And the idea of relying on Allah is very important in finding the one, and understanding that your soul, your soulmate is written for you. Your soulmate will, you'll be with your soulmate. You'll be with the one that Allah has written for you. And most of the time, Allah, the way Allah communicates to us, is through signs and, enlightenments and things like that. And so the one way that Allah guides us to our soulmate that a lot of us don't agree with is the idea of heartbreak, right? How many of us like heartbreak? We don't. We hate losing someone we want for ourselves. We hate the idea of thinking that we got someone and we don't want nothing to ruin this. Sometimes we're afraid to go to Allah and say, "Oh Allah, if he's the right one for me, or if she's the right one for me, oh Allah, help make this work. right? We're afraid to go to Allah because we think Allah is gonna snatch it from us if He deems that this person is not for you. But sometimes you need that. You need that. Like, why would you want to be with someone who Allah is not destined for you, right? I mean, it's one part where we make effort into finding our partners, to finding someone that we love, or finding someone that we can love and be with for eternity, right? But it's another thing to also rely on Allah, So the idea of heartbreak, sometimes Allah, sometimes we miss so many red flags. Allah shows us so many signs of how this person is not the one. And sometimes the difficult thing about getting to know someone is that sometimes emotions can be involved, and emotions cloud our judgment. Emotions sometimes help us not to see things. It makes everything glitter, right? It can make dirt look like gold, right? It can make someone who isn't right for us seem like this is the person, this is our soulmate, this is who Allah has written for us. And we miss so many red flags, and Allah, and the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, excuse me, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides us, and I'm emotional because of the love of Allah, right? And we don't see the love that Allah has for us until He shows us the love He has for us, right? And so we miss so many red flags, and Allah is like the example of a boat, right? You're on a boat, and there's like holes in the boat. There's a little bit of water coming out of those small holes, right? There's water coming out of that. You're sinking, but and that boat is the person you're trying to get to know, right? Or the person that you think is the one. That boat is sinking, and so you look at the holes, and all you see is like closed holes and gold boat, and it's nice. You like the ride. And sometimes Allah shows you those holes. He says, look, there's holes in this person. This person is not right for you. You can't, it's difficult to be with this person. You're going to have a hard time being with this person. Look at this, look at that, look at this. And we turn a blind eye to that. We turn a blind eye to that. And what does Allah do? Out of, we can't understand. We can never understand until after that fact, right? The beauty of Allah causing that boat to flip over is something that a lot of people don't see. So Allah causes that boat to flip over on you, in hopes for you to jump off, in hopes that you fall over. So sometimes we miss so many red flags that Allah causes us, causes this heartbreak in us. It's painful. You're going into the water, right? The boat is flipped over, you're in the water. But Allah, the beauty of it is that Allah, you learn how to swim. Allah still saves you. He it's hard to comprehend. Even me, it's hard to comprehend, but it's beautiful that in like the negative effect of the boat flipping on you, causing you to go into the ocean, is the same idea of the heartbreak. Is that it's not what we want. It's something we can't imagine. It's crazy, but sometimes it's to our benefit. And sometimes we grow, through this heartbreak. Sometimes, even Allah says in the Quran, we may dislike a thing that is good for us, and we may like a thing that is bad for us, and Allah knows. And so you may dislike this heartbreak, but it's all in the process of meeting the right one for you. Is meeting that special someone that Allah has destined for you. So sometimes Allah communicates to us in that way that, hey, this person's not right for you. Sometimes you go through separation. Sometimes you go through difficulties with this person, and not the common difficulty that allows you guys to work together, but just things that you ignored before come into the picture. Things like This person has bad habits and you overlook them, and all of a sudden now the bad habits has caused this relationship to fail. That's Allah's way of steering you away, because you have these red flags for a reason. Like Allah has given you this wisdom to understand these red flags, but you're ignoring them, right? So Allah causes this to happen. And heartbreak is also guiding you to your destiny. All these things don't happen for no reason. Like, a lot of people got to understand that these things don't happen for a reason. Allah pushes you in the direction of the one person that's right for you through these situations. Sometimes situations that you've brought onto yourself, and other times is blessings, because it helps you to see things, it helps you to grow, it helps you to understand that maybe this isn't the way to go in finding someone. Maybe this isn't the way to go to really find a happy life. So heartbreak is a great thing. It's a great thing. I can make another video because I can talk a lot about heartbreak, but it's also a process of finding the one, finding the one who would guide you to Allah. Because sometimes we hold on to people that are of the temporary kind, and sometimes Allah loves us so much that he chooses us to be heartbroken, or he chooses us to lose to lose that person, because that person is not meant for us. So we have to recognize that this is the process as well of finding the right one for you, is sometimes through heartbreak. So let go of the wheel, you know what I'm saying? Rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rely on knowing, relying on what Allah is guiding you to. And obviously taking the proper steps of choosing, getting to know someone that you deem worthy. Religious status, understanding that how is his religion, how is his connection with his family, how is his maturity level, is he financially ready to take on that responsibility, where is his head, get family involved, get someone involved, get to know each other appropriately. But yeah, that's one of the few things I wanted to touch on, even though I could have listed a few things like physical things and all that, but that's for another time. So how do I know if I found the one, right? That to wrap things up, how do I know if I found the one? Honestly, if your outlook in life, if your spirituality, if your perspectives, your connection with your family, all these things have improved, or if you saw your love for Allah increasing, you saw your love for your family, you saw your love for self increasing, then most times than not, you found the one for you. It's easy. I'm sure someone can spend the time to make you feel so good, to make you, love Allah and move closer to your family. Excuse me. To move closer to your family, and he may not be the one for you, right? It's easy for someone to embark on that journey, but most people who aren't for you, you realize straight away, they won't take you in that direction of all the good things, or increasing the good things in your life, or making you see, or like giving you a positive outlook. Like no person who's not meant for you is gonna do that to you. So sometimes that's how you can recognize if someone is the one for you, and it doesn't, and it's not gonna be a physical thing. It's not gonna be something that you're wowed about, because most people are not. Like, most people who are for you may not come in the form that you want. They may not be in the package that you think they're gonna come in. Allah sends someone for you based on the package that he gives you. They may not look like the checklist that you have. They may not look like, oh, that tall person, or that this person, or that person. They're probably not gonna come in the package that you want, but they'll come in, being the person that is right for you. And there's a difference between similarity and compatibility. Allah will send someone who is compatible for you, who's compatible with you, and not similar. So you may not find all the things that you are in that person, but you might find something that will, benefit you and who will increase all the goodness that you have and make you see a different perspective, a positive one for sure. So you find someone compatible, even if you may not find someone similar, or you might find someone who doesn't look like what you're looking for, but has everything that you need. So hang on tight, inshallah. Sorry for making this video a little long. There was a lot that I wanted to say. There's a lot that I also could say. So we'll just stop it right here. But if you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, what y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and subscribe. And whatever it is that you guys want me to talk about, please comment down below, message, whatever it is. I'm here for you guys. I'm at your service. Utilize me. These things I find pleasure in, the service of people. So don't hesitate. You know what I'm saying? Until next time. Deuce.